In the last class, we have discussed about segmentation. What is meant by segmentation? First of all, what is meant by segment? We will be seeing by the name. We can understand that it is a part of the something. Okay, that is nothing but segment. So let us consider what is meant by a segment. Segment can be a function, segment can be a main program like main function, procedure or a function, method, object, local variables or global variables, and some block can be considered as a segment, stack can be considered as a segment, symbol table where we will be having references to all the variables like suppose ABC, if you define what is this A, where we are having what is the value of it, all these things will be maintained in symbol table. So this also can be considered as a segment. So these all are several alternatives for segment, like main program itself we can consider as a segment, that is main function can be considered as a segment, procedure can be considered as a segment, function can be considered as a segment, like this. These are alternatives. Now how we will see this segment is like we are having this entire thing as a program. Let us say this as the program or process. Okay, in this particular one we are having main program. So main program in this main function, this can be considered as one segment, and this is another segment, this is another segment, this is another segment, like this we are having several segments. Like this we can view what is meant by segment. Next, whenever we consider this one to be what you call loaded into main memory, try to understand why we have to load this one into main memory is in order to execute anything we have to load that program into main memory. So we will be loading into the main memory like this. This is a main memory, let us say, and we can load first subroutine, afterwards symbol table we can load, after that main program we could load, after that square root function we could load. Like this dynamically we could able to load all these segments. From where the segment is starting up to what is the length of the segment, that will be maintained in the special type of table called segmentation table. Try to understand, in the segmentation table we will be having the two things, that is from where the segment is being started and what is the length. Like this two entries we will be having. What is the use of these two entries is to check whether the given address is valid or not, and how we can obtain the address of that particular one in the main memories. Let us say we have given with the logical address. From this logical address we have to get actual physical address. Physical address can be called as absolute address as well. Okay, from this logical address, this is logical address, how we can get this absolute or physical address. For this address translation scheme we will use, in that from this logical address we will take, we will be having two portions in this, one is segment number, another one is offset. Okay, so segment number, based upon the segment number we will be having base address and the limit register, like what is the length of the corresponding segment. These two we will be having in this. So now we will see whether this particular length is going beyond this length or not, we will see. If it is not going, then it is valid offset, and whatever the base address that we have, that we will take. So base address we will copy, then this offset, that is the second portion of the logical address. This offset we will be appending to this, so that we could able to not appending, it is like we will be adding to it, so that we will get the corresponding address. It is slightly different from whatever the page table address translation which we have seen earlier. In page table just we will be having like this two parts in what you call logical address, that is a page number and the offset. Then correspondingly, like I can recall, like by using 3,15 is the address, logical address. This will be referred by using page table. Here we are having page table 0, 1, 2, 3 and 3, correspondingly we are having the frame number is 11. So offset will keep as it is, that is 15. page number will be replaced by corresponding frame number. So that 11 comma 15 in the physical memory, that is in the RAM or the main memory, we will be having frames. Okay, in that 11th frame we will be choosing, in that 11th frame 15th word we wanted to access. That is the meaning. Like this, address translation will be done in paging, whereas in this particular segmentation we will be having logical address. In this logical address, whatever the offset that we have, this is offset. Okay, this offset will be compared whether it is going beyond the limit or not. If it is going beyond the limit, we will give you an error, we will give you an error to the operating system, or a trap interrupt will be given whenever offset is going beyond the limit. Otherwise, what will happen? Corresponding base address will be retrieved. So base address plus this offset, this will be performed, addition will be performed, then whatever the address we will get, that we call it as physical or absolute address. Okay, we will see the example, in not worry, just you consider. I'll show you the diagram, I think. Yeah, here you see we are having logical address which contains segment number and the offset. This is the offset. Now this offset will be checked against corresponding whatever the limit that we have. See, for this particular segment we are having the limit. Okay, this limit and this offset will be checked. If this offset is going beyond limit, that means if D is less than limit, then that means within the limit only we are having this offset, then it is fine, then we could able to find the absolute address. But other than this means if D is greater than L, okay, greater than or equal to L, then what we can say, it is going beyond the limit, so we have to give error, that is a trap interrupt will be given. Okay, this is the thing. Now you can understand from here, like this segment number this segment number will be taken, correspondingly what is the limit we will be getting, then what is the base address we will be getting. So now if it is within the limit, then this base address and this offset address, that is D, will be added. Okay, B plus D will be performed, then we will get absolute address or physical address, then we could able to access corresponding word. Okay, this is the concept that we have in segmentation. That's what we have discussed. See here, whatever the segment number we will be having here, correspondingly we will be getting what is the base address. Okay, then what is the offset? This is the part of the logical address itself. So these two will be added in order to get the physical address. By using physical address, corresponding word we could able to access. That is the ultimate goal. Yeah, this is address translation scheme that we have in segmentation. Here you can understand this we have seen already. This is one segment, second, third, fourth, like this we are having several segments, and these segments can be of different lengths, that you keep in mind. Earlier in paging, whatever the frames that we have, frames are all are of same size. Yes or no? Frames is nothing but equal partitioning of main memory we will do. Each partition we call it as frame. And what is the concept here is page, what you call, process also will be partitioned into several partitions. Okay, it will be divided into several partitions. Each partition we call it as page, and these pages needs to be loaded into main memory, but not required to be in contiguous. So these can be in non-contiguous frames. Any page can be loaded into any frame, that you keep in mind. That's why what is the restriction that we follow is page size equal to frame size. Okay, page size equal to frame size, like this we will be considering. Yeah, any doubts so far? Okay. Whereas in segmentation, what is the difference is, we will not divide this main memory statically, we will be dividing like variable length partitions. Okay, one first segment can be of 10 kb, second segment can be of 8, this can be of 15, like this we can have of variable length, and these can be at any place, like pages can be loaded into main memory in into any frames. Similarly here also these segments needs to be in the main memory, all these segments needs to be in the main memory, but need not be contiguous, need not be contiguous. So similar to paging only, but coming to the address translation, that is different. Like earlier, pages means directly we could append the offset with the frame number, then we could able to get the physical address. Whereas in the segmentation, we have to add base address and the offset, then only we will get the physical address. That is a slight difference. These all things we have seen. Segmentation table, what it will do? Segment table, it maps two-dimensional physical addresses. Okay, two-dimensional physical addresses, in the sense whatever the segment number we give, correspondingly base address and the limit will be given. Okay, that will be part of the segment table. Okay, segment table base register will be having, which will point to the segment what you call this particular table. This table also will occupy some memory, right? Try to understand one small what you call logic here. We are maintaining page table. What page table will contain? All the page numbers, and correspondingly where we are having, that is frame numbers we will be having. So page numbers we will be having here. Page numbers we will be having like 0, 1, 2, 3, like these page numbers can be as index. Next, what will be the value? Here we will be having corresponding frame number. Okay, this we call it as page table. Similarly, we will be having segmentation table. In segmentation table, we will be having two fields, that is base and limit, as we have seen earlier. Base address and the limit we will be having. Okay, here we will be having segment number. Segment number 0, 1, 2, 3, like this we are having segment numbers. Whatever the segment that we have, for that we will be having base address, we will be having limit as well. Based upon that, we will calculate the physical address. Okay. So now, where this particular page table or segment table will be, this is segment table, will reside is, these two will reside in main memory only. Okay, where this particular page table exists, that will be that address will be stored, page table or segmentation table address will be stored in this segmentation table base register. Okay, next segmentation table length register will indicate how many segments we have for that particular program, that will be maintained by using this length register, so that we will see whether it is exceeding the what you call valid number of segments or not, that we can able to check with this STLR. STBR is used to indicate where this segmentation table exists in the main memory. Okay. Next, in this segmentation table, we will be having one bit called validation bit. Okay, same thing we will be having with respect to page table as well. Validation bit, if it is 0, what does it indicates is it is illegal segment, invalid segment we can say. Okay, that is used to protect that particular segmentation. Whatever the segmentation table that we have, that will be reside in the main memory. Okay, this is the main memory, let us say, and segmentation table we will be having, and in this we will be checking whether that particular segment is valid or not. If it is 0, then we can say it is invalid, that particular segment is invalid, that is not allowed to access a physical memory. Like that we can protect the memory. Next, this we have already seen how address translation will be done, and this is regarding paging. We have referred some other slides, but Anyway, those only will be there. Just I will try to revise. If some new points are there, then those will be covered. See here, what is the concept of paging? Paging is nothing but just we will be dividing the main memory into several equal parts. We call it as frames, and process will also be divided same size partitions. We call it as pages, and these pages can be loaded into any frame. Any page can be loaded into any frame. And what's the restriction in simple paging is all the pages needs to be present in the main memory, then only process could able to execute. Suppose a process 1 having 4 pages, all these 4 pages needs to be present in the main memory, but need not be contiguously, but one page can be here, one page can be here, one page can be here, another page can be here. Like this, 4 pages, whatever the pages we have for P1, all those 4 pages present in the main memory, then only we could able to execute the particular process. That is called simple paging. Okay. Now you know what is meant by frame, what is meant by page as well. Next, one restriction or a simple convention that we use is whatever the frame size that we have, same size pages we will be having, and frame size in general we will be having as power of 2. The size of the frame will be power of 2. That is in general 512 bytes to 16 MB. Okay, 512 bytes to 16 MB. Okay, this is a usual convention every operating system will use. What is the frame size? Frame size will be in powers of 2, starting from 512 bytes to 16 MB. Okay, so according to the frame size, automatically page size will also be in powers of 2 in general. Most of the time we will be having in powers of 2. Next, to transform this logical address into physical address, we will be using one translation. For that translation, we will be making use of page table. Okay, in this page table, what we will be having? What is the page number? What is the frame number? Where we are having that particular page number, where we are having, in which frame we are having, that will be maintained in page table. So based upon the page table, we could able to translate logical address into physical address. Okay, physical address is nothing but by using that CPU could able to access directly the main memory. Okay, actual address, absolute address, we can call it as physical address. Okay, now this is the how it looks like what you call address. We'll see here page number we will be having and the page offset, like 3,15 which we have seen earlier. 3 is nothing but page number and 15 is the offset, 3,15. Of course, this will be in binary. Okay, this 3 will be translated into binary, 15 will be translated into binary. That entire thing will be considered as the logical address. In the logical address, what we will be having? Page number followed by offset. Now let us consider we are having logical address space as 2 power m addresses. In the last class we have seen how many we could able to refer. Suppose we are having 2 bits for address. How many address locations we will be having? If we have 2 bits, if we have only one bit to indicate address, then we will be having 0 as one alternative, 1 as another alternative. So 2 addresses only we could able to refer. We could able to have 2 addresses when we have only 1 bit for address. Similarly, if we have 2 bits, then how many addresses we can have? How many addresses we could able to refer? Yeah, any answers? If we have 2 bits, then how many addresses we can differentiate, we can have? Yes, please answer, ma'am.
4.
2 addresses if we have, then 4, right? Like 00, 01, 10, 11, like this, 4 addresses we can have. Similarly, suppose 3 bits if we have, then how many we can have?
8.
8. K bits if we have,
2 power k.
yeah, 2 power k. So now let us consider we are having 2 power m addresses. Then how many bits we need to have in to refer any address? How many bits we need to have?
M.
M. So this length will be, yeah, this length will be m bits. Okay, now let us consider we are having logical address space as 2 power m addresses. Then total will be m bits. Okay, logical address contains m bits. In these m bits, okay, in these m bits, each page consists of 2 power n as the size. Each page size is 2 power n. So how many bits we require to refer one particular address? 2 power n addresses. This is one page. Okay, one page consists of 2 power n bytes. Okay, let us say 2 power n bytes. So for each byte we require 1. So 2 power n, how many bits we require? 2 power n addresses we are having. How many bits we require? Like 2 power m addresses if we have, m bits we require. Similarly 2 power n if we have, n bits we require. Try to understand here, entire address, entire length is m. Okay, entire length is m. Out of this, we are having for each page, okay, for each page 2 power n bits, 2 power n addresses. So n bits we require in order to identify one particular word in a page. Okay, like that we can have several pages. So now out of this m, n bits we have to allocate to identify within a page. So here you can consider this is n. Page offset is nothing but n. That means we will be giving 3, 15 in the sense 15 is to indicate what is the within the page, what is the line number, like that you can consider. Within this particular page, this is the line number. To identify line number, how many bits we require? N bits. Why? Because in each page we will be having 2 power n lines. You consider one simple book. In the book we are having several pages. Okay, this is one page, this is another page, same number of lines we are having. Now how many lines we are having is 2 power n lines. In each page how many lines we are having? 2 power n lines. What is the line number? In order to identify that, we need to use n bits. What is the line number means? We need to use n bits. That's what here we are indicating as page offset. What is the length that we require? N. So remaining will be considered for page number. Remaining total will be m. So for this page we are using page offset, we are using n. So remaining will be m minus n. Got it? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here address page number we denote with P and the page offset we denote with D. Total number of addresses in logical memory I am saying as 2 power m. So it requires a total m bits. Next, what is the size of each page? 2 power n. So to identify one word in any page we require n bits. That's why the length of the page offset is n, that we know. Next, page number will be remaining, that means m minus n, that will be the page number. This is the length, that means how many bits we use to indicate page number, how many bits we use to indicate page offset, that is m minus n and n respectively. Got it? Or you can understand from here, logical address space is 2 power m, page size is 2 power n. Okay. Next, this is the address translation. This is a simple page table, how address translation will be done, like from logical address to physical address. This is the logical address where we are having page number and the offset 3, 15. Next, then what it will do? It will try to find what is the frame number. That is suppose 0, 1, 2, 3 we are having. So 3, what is the corresponding number, frame number we will be seeing. So corresponding frame number will be appended with the offset. This is the offset that will be appended. So 11 comma 15. So correspondingly we will be getting the physical address. This is simple paging page translation scheme. Okay, we will be taking the page number, correspondingly frame number we will obtain, and then offset will be appended to this frame number in order to get the physical address. Simple thing. Whereas in segmentation, what we did, we will be getting the base address, not frame number. Base address we will be getting, that is from where that particular segment will start. So that from here I wanted to get to 15th line, let us say. Then what we have to do, suppose let us say the address of this one is 1000 and address, I wanted to get 15th one. Then what we have to do, 1000 plus 15, then only we will get this particular address. Got it? This is the translation scheme followed in segmentation. Whereas in paging, what we will do, just we will take this 11, that is the frame number and the logical address. Frame number, if you know directly, it will point to corresponding frame. Then within that 15, we could able to go directly. But here segmentation means where that particular segment will start, we don't know. That's why we need to depend on the base address. Okay, that's the difference between paging and segmentation. Yeah. So in this paging, you can observe this is the logical memory, this is the page table. In this we are having these as page numbers. This is page number, this is frame number. So where we are having 0th page in first frame, first page in where? Yeah, 4th frame. Second page in 3rd frame. Next 4th page in 7th frame. Like this we are having page table. Next, this is another example with within the page we are having four words, let us say, okay, 4 lines kind of thing. Then with simple example you could identify 0th page where we have loaded from here. So in which frame? Sorry, 0th frame we have loaded here. So in which frame? 5th frame. So 5th frame in the sense, what is the frame size? What is the frame size? 4. You can observe here, 4 is the frame size. So 5 into 4 will be calculated. Then we could able to get 20. This is the starting address. Okay, suppose I wanted to access this one G, where we are having in the that G in the main memory. G, what is the page number? Page number is 1, where we are having that 1 here. So 6. So 6 we will be getting 6 into what is the frame size? 4. So 24. Then afterwards, what is within the page? What is the offset? 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2. So that we have to do. So 24 plus 2, that is 26. Here you can understand 25, 26, 27. So 24 plus 2, that is 26. Like this we can able to get where we are having that G. That is what is the physical address of the G. Or one more example, let us see. Like you consider K. Okay, K we wanted to access from the main memory. So what is this page number? Page number is 0, 1, 2. 2 is the page number. So now 2 where we are having at 1. Okay, in the frame 1. So this will be retrieved at 1. And what is the frame size? Frame size is equivalent to page size, which is 4. So 1 into 4. This we will get. And we wanted to access what? K. So what is the line here? 0, 1, 2. So 2 we have to add to this. 1 into 4, that is 4 plus 2, which is 6. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have to access this particular physical address. Like this we could able to find what is the physical address from the logical address by using page table. This is paging example. I hope you understand. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is another example. In general, we will be having page size or frame size. Frame size and page size will be equal, and page size will or frame size will be in powers of 2 and it will start from 512 and some limit is there. So here we have calculated the page, we have considered one scenario where we are having the page size as 2048 and entire process size is this one. So entire process size is 72766 bytes, and each page, this will be divided into pages, right? So each page should contain 2048. So it will start from 2048, the second page will contain 2048, like this every page will be having 2048, 2048, same size, okay? But after completing 35 pages of 2048 size, okay, 35 pages of 2048, we will be remaining with 1086 bytes. So that will be part of another page, isn't it? Like you consider, we are having 35 pages of 2048 size. Next, process contains some more vertical memory, that is 1086. So the size of this one is 1086. But according to our discussion earlier, every page is of the same size as frame size. Every page will be having the size same as frame size. So now this will also contain 2048 only, isn't it? This page size will also be 2048 only, but out of this what we have used? Only 1086. So remaining space cannot be used by any other page. So it is nothing but unusable space within the partition. Within the partition we are having unusable space, that is nothing but internal fragmentation. What is the internal fragmentation of this particular setup if I ask? Try to understand. If I give these two as the input, like page size is this and process size is this, then can you able to say what is the internal fragmentation? Can you able to say what is the internal fragmentation? Just we have to observe how many filled pages we have, and we will be having at most one page with empty space, okay, at most one page, okay, we will not be having more than one page with additional space. So that particular page, how much additional space which is unusable we have, that we have to find out. That is nothing but internal fragmentation. What is the internal fragmentation? Means 2048 minus 1086, that is 962 bytes. Let us consider we are having 4 as the page size, 4 as the page size, and the process size as 9. Process size is 9, 4 as the page size. Then what is the internal fragmentation? What is the internal fragmentation? Page size is 4 bytes, and process size is 9 bytes. Then what is the internal fragmentation? How you can find out? Just we have to check how many filled pages we are having. Like 4 is the frame size, vertical page size. So first page will be loaded here. 9 is the process size, right? So how it will be divided? 4 as 1, 4 as 1, then 1. Of course, the total size is 9. But coming to the pages, we will be having all as the same size only. So we have to allocate like this. Out of this last 4, how much we are using? Only 1 we are using. So remaining 3 will be wasted. This is nothing but internal fragmentation. Understand? Internal fragmentation is nothing but how much memory is being wasted. That is nothing but internal fragmentation. How we can calculate is, we have to check what is the page size. If you know the page size and process size, directly by simply by dividing it with page size, we could able to get 2, right? So now 9 minus this 2 into page size. This is nothing but internal fragmentation. Like that you can consider. Or I can give you 9 minus, what is that 2? 2 is nothing but 9 by 4 into 9 by 4 into page size. This is nothing but the internal fragmentation. Sometimes sometimes we will not be having any internal fragmentation. Like if you consider the process size as 8, then what we will get? 8 minus 8 by 4 multiplied by 4, then we will be getting 8 minus, what is this? 8 only. This is 2 multiplied by 4, so internal fragmentation is 0. Like this, if the process size is given to you, as P, and page size is given to you as S, then how can we give the formula? What is the internal fragmentation? What is the internal fragmentation? P minus P by S multiplied by S. This is nothing but internal fragmentation. This can be 0. If it is 0, then what we can conclude? There is no internal fragmentation. If it is other than 0, then that much internal fragmentation exists. Understand?
Sir, doesn't that formula always give us 0?
No. A formula in the sense you consider this division will give it is integer division. You consider this
Okay,
division as internal division, integer division, then there is no guarantee.
Okay, sir.
So now you can understand from this how we can find out internal fragmentation. Now suppose in order to avoid this internal fragmentation, let us divide this particular main memory into small frame sizes. Like main memory will be divided into 1 byte, 1 byte, 1 byte, like this only we will be dividing, okay, entire memory. Then what will happen? Page process will also be divided into same size as frame size, right? Suppose we are having 9 means how many pages we will be getting? 9 pages we will be getting. 9 is the size of the process, means 9 frames we will be getting. Suppose 99 is the size of the process, so 99 frames we will be getting. Automatically what will happen is page table will contain 99 entries, isn't it? 99 pages if we have, page table of corresponding process we will be having 99 entries, 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, 98. What is the frame number we will be maintaining here? So page table size will be increased automatically. So this will go more worst way. Why? Because we will be increasing the page table size. Page table will also stay reside in main memory only. So it requires more memory to accommodate and it is no longer an efficient mechanism. If you divide the main memory as 1 frame, 1 byte, this is worst case we can consider. On average, what we can do is half of the frame size, like fragmentation in general, we will be having half of the frame size. Like you consider 9 and 4 as we have dealt earlier. Internal fragmentation was 3. Suppose you consider 11 and 4, then internal fragmentation will be 1. 12 and 4, internal fragmentation will be 0. Like this, if you average it, then it will come as a half of the frame size most of the times. Okay. So now whatever the frame size that we have chosen, that will decide how much internal fragmentation we may incur. Okay. In general, this Solaris operating system will support 2 sizes of pages. One is 8 KB, another one is 4 MB. These are the two page sizes it will consider. Like one is small one, another one is extreme end. Like that, it will support 2 kinds of pages, so that depending upon the process size, it will consider. Understand? So this is about paging. Next, this is simple understanding. By seeing diagram only you can understand. Like here we are having a new process, it has not entered. As of now, these are the frame list. These are the free frame list. Here in this we are having 13 as the free, 14 free, 15 free, 18 free, 20 free. And how many pages we require? 4 pages to be loaded into main memory in order to execute this new process. So 4 frames we require. These 4 pages, to load these 4 pages, 4 frames we require. So those 4 frames which were allocated are 14, 13, 18, 20. So 14, 13, 18, 20, these are allocated. So 0, 1, 2, 3 are all are loaded into corresponding frames. So process page table will contain page number. This is the page number. This is the frame number. So 0 is loaded at frame number 14. 1 is loaded at frame number 13. Like that, we could able to understand. Yeah. Now free frame list will contain only 15. Why? Because remaining all we have used. This we have used. This we have used. So this one only will be free. Like this, you can understand. And this implementation of page table, this is a quite interesting topic. Try to understand. Like earlier we have considered segmentation based register. Here we will be having page table based register, PTBR, and page table length register. Why? Because we will be having a kind of you consider we are having a CPU. This is CPU, and we are having main memory. Now every time what we will try to do is, it will generate a logical address, then corresponding physical address it has to translate. How it has to translate a logical address to physical address? It has to contact page table, then only it could able to translate into physical address, isn't it? So where this page table will reside? Page table will also reside in main memory only. So this entire thing will be considered as the main memory only. So it has to access this main memory or this page table more frequently comparatively. So that page table, if we have that page table, try to understand, if we have that page table nearer to the CPU, then it will increase the processing speed. Try to understand. Suppose you are having some index kind of thing in your home. At your home, for all the things you will maintain some index. The index register you are having. That register, if you keep it in what you call a penthouse, okay? If you keep it in penthouse, every time you have to go to the penthouse and get the index. What is the use of index actually? In order to get anything in less time. That is the main motive. So with that, so whether to keep that in penthouse is good, or keep it in easily accessible place is efficient. Easily accessible place is efficient, right? So similarly here also, what we will do is, instead of keeping the main memory, what you call this page table somewhere else, what we will do is, in between we will maintain a cache memory kind of thing called translation look aside buffer. Translation look aside buffer, TLB. This is very important with respect to gate. TLB is nothing but translation look aside buffer. What is the use of this TLB is, whatever the page table that we have, that page table will be accessed by CPU in order to translate logical memory to physical memory more frequently. So instead of keeping that one in main memory, let us keep that one in cache memory, so that whatever the required one we have, that we could able to get easily. That we could able to get easily in less time. That is the main motive here for having translation look aside buffer. Okay, now basic advantage is to get the required physical address in less time. So if we keep entire page table in the cache memory, again it will occupy more space, and we cannot accommodate entire page table in this translation look aside buffer. So the size will be limited. So what we will do is, we will try to see, like whatever the logical address we have, correspondingly we will try to check in this translation look aside buffer whether that particular page frame number exists in this buffer or not. We will see. If it is exist, then directly we can go to this. If it is not exist, then what we will do is, if it is not exist, then we have to access the page table from here, from the main memory, and by using that we could able to access. In general, as of now, what we have discussed, by using only page table, we will be getting the frame number, corresponding physical address we could able to get. But here we are introducing the concept called translation look aside buffer, which is nothing but cache memory. Okay, now by using this cache memory, we could able to reduce the time. How we will reduce is, we will maintain certain page table and the frame number here, so that whenever page number corresponding one page number and the frame number required, then corresponding entry is found or not, we will check. If it is found, then we can directly access that physical memory. If it is not exist, then we will go to main memory, then we will bring that, we will obtain that physical address. This is the usage of translation look aside buffer. Let us see the diagram, then you can understand more clearly. Yeah, here you see CPU is producing logical address. What is the main motive of logical CPU is generating this logical address? It cannot access this logical address, what you call physical address, by using this physical memory, by using this logical address. So it has to translate. How it has to translate? How it has to translate is like by making use of TLB, that is translation look aside buffer. Here we are having two entries like page number and the frame number. If it is found, then we can say it as TLB hit. Hit in the sense whatever the search page that we have, that is found in this TLB itself, then it is called hit. If it is not present, then we call it as miss. TLB hit in the sense corresponding pages exist in TLB itself. Okay, cache hit in the sense whatever the required word that we have, that is present in cache itself, that is cache hit. Similarly, cache miss in the sense, cache miss is nothing but that particular word is not present in the cache. Okay, if it coming to this particular translation look aside buffer hit is, we have found the corresponding page here itself, so frame number will be retrieved, then this offset and the frame number can be appended to get the physical address. This is a straightforward way. But if that is miss, then we will go to page table. We have to go to corresponding page table, then we will retrieve the, definitely in this page table we will be having frame number, so that frame number will be appended with offset, then we will get the physical address. Earlier we were not having this this portion earlier, but here we are introducing this in order to reduce the memory access time. That is the advantage of using this translation look aside buffer. Okay, and remaining things we will see in the next class. Try to keep this one in mind. Translation look aside buffer is used to reduce the time required to translate a logical address to physical address by the CPU. Okay. Yeah. Please enter your roll number and can leave. Thank you.